So before I get into today's episode of I'm going to do 2 episodes today. Before I get into episode 4 here of Discontinued, these aren't reviews or anything. Not to confuse anybody with these videos, but they're not reviews. They're just talking about discontinued products. Discontinued beverages. Mountain Dews, Pepsis, Coca-Colas, Dr. Peppers. So I just want to clarify that out there that these aren't reviews or anything. I do reviews or sipping reviews, and these are totally different than the sipping reviews. I'm just talking about the discontinued products here. But anyway, so I just want to clarify that out there in case anybody thought that these were reviews. They're not reviews. Reviews are sipping reviews, and these videos are totally different for sipping reviews. They're just talking about discontinued Mountain Dews, Pepsis, Dr. Peppers, Coca-Colas, etc. So, anyway, today's episode here is Typhoon. Mountain Dew Typhoon was first released in test bottles in 2009. And back then, they had this thing where fans of Mountain Dew were able to try test flavors of different Mountain Dew flavors. Nowadays, it's very few people actually get to try these new Mountain Dew flavors that they're coming out with. And they don't come out as many flavors as they used to, like with test flavors. I think they have the Dew Outpost, which is kind of like what they used to do with the test flavors. But again, a certain amount of people are only invited to the Dew Outpost. I guess it's like people that they pick or whatever are able to go there or something. I don't know. It'd be nice if they picked me to go there. That would be cool, but they probably will never pick me, so I don't know. I don't know why, but anyway, Mountain Dew used to pick people to try different test flavors, and a lot of people actually used to try it. But nowadays, very few people actually get to try the test flavors before they release them to the stores. And like I said, they only release only a couple test flavors at a time, not as many as they used to. I think they used to make 20 test flavors at a time or something like that. 10 test flavors, but nowadays it's only 2 or 3. But anyway, and even it's just the upcoming products that are coming out. So somebody gets a test bottle of an upcoming product. So for instance, Mountain Dew Gamefield, people I saw months ago actually got the test bottles, or Voodoo or Baja flavors. So, nowadays it's just basically the products are actually coming out. But anyway, Typhoon back in 2009 was one of those Mountain Dews that were tested. I think there's 20 other Mountain Dew flavors that were tested, and Typhoon was the one that won the test run, basically. And then in 2010, it was released to stores for the first time. And I think it was only in, it was in 12 packs, and it was in 20-ounce bottles, and it was also in 2 liters as well, which is very rare for Mountain Dew to make 2 liters of a flavor, basically, because Mountain Dew only makes very few flavors in 2 liters. And this was one of the rare occurrences where Mountain Dew made a flavor that was actually in a 20 liter, I can't speak today, 2 liter. I think there's been very rare occurrences where Mountain Dew has made a flavor that they released in 2 liters, basically. Code Red, Voltage, Live Wires. I think Live Wire used to come in 2 liters. Whiteout and Uproar are one of the only couple flavors that actually were ever in, and also regular and diet. Are the only flavors that ever really were in 2 liters, basically. And Typhoon was one of those flavors. At one time it was in 2 liters. But anyway, Typhoon came out as Democracy 1 in 2000, and no, Democracy 2. Democracy 1 was with Supernova and Revolution and Voltage. But Mountain Dew Typhoon came out with 2 other flavors, Distortion and Whiteout. Ultimately, Whiteout won, which I don't understand because Typhoon is way better than Whiteout, but I guess people just love Whiteout more than Typhoon, which I don't understand, but whatever. So Whiteout won, and Typhoon and Distortion were discontinued as flavors. And then in 2011, or 2012 Typhoon, Supernova, and Mountain Dew Pitch Black were released to stores. Just those two. So Typhoon was only released in 2 liters, and Supernova and Pitch Black were released in 20-ounce bottles and 12 packs, I believe. But Typhoon was the only one that was released in 2 liters at the time. And that was the only like Typhoon you could get was in the 2 liters. Now Typhoon, I reviewed this back in last year, back in 2022. The summer of 2022, I reviewed this, and I think I reviewed this earlier this year too. But this is the last can I got here, because all the cans I drank already. Because I love Typhoon. It's one of my favorite Mountain Dews now. I wish this come out again someday. This was released on the Dew Store, and I was so excited to try this because I really wanted to try this like in forever. Because I never got the chance to try this back then. Because I didn't drink Mountain Dew back then, I wasn't really allowed to drink soda. So when this came out last year, I was excited. So this came out, like I said, it came out in 2010. Well, it came out in 2009 as test bottles. It came out in 2010 as Democracy 2. It came out in 2011 or 2012 alongside Pitch Black and Supernova. And it came out as a freeze in, I think, 2013 or 2014 at Taco Bell. And it also came out in a diet, but diet was like only like for a very limited time. And then it came out last year in 2022 in the summer on the Dew Store. So, but anyway, now Typhoon was actually supposed to come out this year, but for whatever reason, they decided to discontinue the Decision 3 or Decision 2 or whatever it was called. So it's going to be Mountain Dew Pitch Black versus Typhoon. And whatever reason, they decided not to do that this year. Maybe this will come back again sometime because I really love this Mountain Dew. And this is probably one of my favorite Mountain Dews, and I hope this comes out another time, one year. So maybe like next year, or maybe not next year, but maybe 2025 or something. Maybe they'll decide to release this again in stores because this was really good. So, Mountain Dew Typhoon discontinued 4 here. Peace.